Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to Q-Tech. This is episode 12. Today we're going to increase our ore processing to get triple ore processing. So I had it set up over here where the enrichment chamber produced 2 times double ingots, and then that just went into the I had it set up here, but into the furnace, and I was using the silence one at the time, the electric furnace, because it's a little bit faster by default, and it can't hurt to have an extra electric furnace kicking around for doing things like stone and glass and all that kind of stuff, because it eliminates the need for the specialized ones that Davquist made us make for like the smoker and the blast furnace and all that stuff, which coincidentally got blown up by a creeper, I don't know, a few episodes ago, 4 episodes ago or so ish. But yeah, we can slowly make our way up to ore tripling, which will require 6 machines, whereas ore doubling only required 2 machines. So the more yield you want out of it, the more machines that you're going to need, and the more resources you're going to need to get there, right? Obviously. So we'll get started on the ore tripling. Not that we're going to need to triple. I may be speaking too soon. We may need to triple and quadruple and quintuple all of our iron to getting right towards the end game. I haven't looked too deep into it to know for sure or not, but I mean, we may well need all of the iron in the world, like all of it, to get where we're going. But don't know that yet, but we may as well get started on it. So in addition to the electrolytic separator, the crusher, the enriching factory, and a furnace, which I'm going to switch over to the energized smelter from Mekanism. We'll need the purification chamber, and we'll need a pump because we're going to need to be able to constantly be putting water into our electrolytic separator automatically. We don't have to rely on bucketing because obviously we don't want to have to babysit that all of the time. We'd rather have that automatically set up. So I think I've got most things queued up and ready to go here. So we'll grab a pump first. So basically we have the pump providing water to the electrolytic separator. Will get us oxygen and hydrogen. We know where we're using the hydrogen for right now, and that's just in our backpack. But the purification chamber, we'll need to make a couple of these guys to get there, but the purification chamber uses oxygen. So this is a place where we can use oxygen to some degree. Just wait for those to get back into the system, and then we should have, we'll need an extra enrichment chamber, which I forgot about. So let's get this guy. Because yeah, we need to use an enrichment chamber to get in there to get the purification chamber. Now, while I'm at it, I'm going to upgrade all of these to their first tier of factory as well. Oh, never mind. So if we look at the use on this and we want to go to the basic factory, let's get that queued up. And then for this to work, all the things have to be in the system, but that's fine. We'll just call it back. It'll end up down here, and we'll just put it into the manual crafting area, into the crafting area manually. So there we go. I forgot, does this, yeah, this doesn't have any upgrade to the separator, so we don't have to worry about that one. So from the purifying factory, it goes into the crusher. And the crusher doesn't have any upgrades. Oh yeah, we got a crushing factory. Never mind. So let's get that back into the system and get the crusher upgraded to the factory. So where did the crusher go? Lasai. So if we just take this out of there, we can then request the things and just manually put this in there to get the factory. All right, we already have the enriching factory, so we're good on that. And then the last thing we'll need to get is the Mekanism smelter, because this is the one we can start upgrading it on, right? So we'll get the smelter come through. Go to the use on that, take that out, request the set of ingredients, throw that back in there, and we'll get the upgraded smelting factory. So now we can get things all lined up and ready to rock. Alright, so I've got some water here already. With the Mekanism, we don't need the infinite water source like that, like with some other pumps from other mods, so that's pretty handy there. This automatically lined itself up on the wiring. I did upgrade my cable from the basic to the advanced because it was super cheap, so I just did it for now to get that going. We'll need to shift click that onto the top of there, so that should be getting water into it. Maybe because it's full, it's not taking any water on. We'll get this going and then figure out in a minute or two here. So we'll get the purifying factory there. No, wait, we need the... Oh yeah, this is where the liquid or the oxygen will go. Okay. So side config, gases. So from this side we want input, right? And this should have... Maybe I know what's wrong here. So we're going to need to supply those with energy. Well, here we go again, failing on camera in style. Oh, so we need that to be extra. And to eject on. Yeah, the gases should be coming in. Well, anyways, yeah, the separator. Supplying oxygen to this factory, which then makes some clumps, which we gotta crush, and then after we crush the clumps, we need to enrich them, and then from the enrichment we go into smelting. And then we'll just get that hooked up with some power there. Now I'm going to put this on a quick pause and get this working for you guys, because as far as I can tell, I haven't done anything wrong, but maybe I have and I've just missed a configuration somewhere. So yeah, I'll be back here in a minute. Alright, so I figured it out. It was the sidedness, so I needed to have my purifying factory to the right of the separator because the oxygen is on the right. So I got the oxygen in there now. Set up a hopper on top so that we can feed things in. I still don't know why the water is not pumping up into the separator, but the other thing I guess I could try is to maybe put the water source back there and have the universal, oh, that's energy, right? Not water. We may need to get a fluid pipe, put the water out here and pump it into the front or another side, because there's no side config on this guy at all. But anyways, we'll throw 10 of those in there. We're on items. Oh, and then just make sure everything is on auto sort. Oh, and I forgot, I need to export this to the bottom, so output down. You need to be input on the top and sort on, and then output to the right, which it says it's doing. We need input on the left and then output to the top. Sort on. This one we need input from the bottom and output to the right. You're outputting to the top? Yeah. Auto eject on. Auto eject on. Alright, their items are going somewhere. Wish this would tell you which one. Alright, I'm going to pause this again and figure out how now I'm messing up the smelting factory. Alright, so I think I got it here. So I put one in, I got my 3 clumps, and those clumps turn into the dirty iron dust. The smelting factory won't do the regular iron dust, it only does the dirty iron dust, so we don't need to clean it like during a normal mechanism, so we get to eliminate one machine. So that's not too bad, and then that outputs, so 1 in, 3 out. We got our tripling, but if we need this iron dust, so if we need the plain dust for some different things, which we'll run into later. I've already seen, so I'm sure of it. But yeah, when we need the regular dust, then we're gonna have to like bypass the smelting factory. So maybe we'll like turn off the auto eject from the crusher before we get there, if we do need the dust for anything. But to process this dust, we've already got the silence electric furnace, so that won't be a problem at all. We can put silence. Where can I put this? Right, so I just do this. Put the electric furnace there. Put some power on it there. And there we go. We can process the regular dust that way. I'm going to keep back 16 for now because there are recipes that require iron dust, right? So some of the upgrades, actually just the gas upgrade there. So yeah, that's what I was going to point out over here that I had set up. So with the silence machines, all of the silence upgrades, we need these upgrade cases, and these are made with the plastic. So we're going to have to get into oil processing before we can get to there, which is going to be a good little setup in our first foray into XNet, doing that stuff, because we'll need XNet to tell things where to go and what to do. But with the Mekanism stuff, we don't need any of it, but we do need to get some of these clean dusts. So we'll have to process some of that stuff up there, and we'll get ourselves some speed upgrades and energy upgrades and make these more efficient, as well as upgrading these machines into their higher forms as well, right? Because the basic, so if we look at one of these factories, like, right? So we go from basic to advanced to elite, and then there's ultimate. So, and it just takes, it's not too hard at all to go up the levels, but I don't quite need it to get it there, and I don't really want to start spending a lot of my diamonds just yet, because even though I have a fair amount, right, a little over a stack plus some ore kicking around, and I think this guy should be done his third round now, so we'll see how many more diamonds we got out of the last run. Oh, it's not quite done yet. Still 126, probably energy power. Yeah, so I'm gonna need to move that over, but yeah, 4 more diamonds there. And just kind of have to, when I'm doing the big mine from 16 up to 60 there, I don't need the extra power, but when I'm mining the 0 to 15 with the silk touch, we do need the extra power. So yeah, that's 2 of these at this Y level is good enough to keep this guy going with the silk touch at 240 per tick, because these guys are producing 72 each. So that's 144, but this thing isn't working every tick, right? So that's why 2 of these guys will keep up with this for the most part. Sometimes it'll go down, and then sometimes it'll go up. It just depends on how much of the ore that there is down there. So I'm guessing that we found a whole bunch of ore there that it was needed to mine up, so that's why it took up the extra bit of juice on that one. So that's what I wanted to go over in this episode. The next episode we can start looking towards oil, I think, and getting some of that plastic up for those upgrades I was talking about, so that we can get those working. And I'll just leave my XNet controller someplace where I know where it is. Oh, and I just put redstone ore in there? No, which ore did I put in there? Well, my redstone ore disappeared somewhere. Not too worried about it. Anyways, thumbs up if you enjoyed, and leave a comment if I missed something, and I appreciate you all. We will see you in the next one.